about the struggle.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's Prophet here coming with another message. This one was a little bit more response driven in regards to the Esau being a white man doctrine and just general hate and discourse towards Edomites in general. Okay. So I wanted to make a response and just address some things in the scriptures to clarify and to edify those who may be dealing with similar situations. So I'll just give a quick little bit of backstory here. So I was scrolling through Facebook. Excuse me, I'm sick. My voice kind of going in and out, but bear with me. So I was scrolling through Facebook, and I noticed there was a post from an Ak of mine, and he was talking about, the post said pretty much the Bible doesn't teach that white people are, was it evil, or that white people aren't Esau. And you had mixed comments in the comment section of the post. But there was one individual brother who was coming in there, and he was basically going along with the white man is Esau. Esau is the white man doctrine. And so I came in and I made a comment to the person who made the post. I wasn't even talking to anybody else. I was addressing the individual who made the post. I know making posts like that, how in the Hebrew Israelite community, it's not favored by a lot of people, especially those who are camp-minded, and I knew that he would get a lot of flack for it. So I wanted to give him some encouragement, and I liked the post, first of all, and then when I commented, I just gave some encouragement words. I said, don't focus on the negative comments, focus on the right comments, be encouraged, good job, pretty much like that. And so the individual commented under mine, and he dropped some scripts to try to justify his claim. And then I responded, explaining what was going on with the scripts that he posted. And then another individual came into the comment section and added more scriptures that was supposedly substantiating their claims. So I responded, and then in typical fashion, these camp-minded people, they go to insults, and so I ended the conversation. And the thing about it is, with me, if you guys don't know me, I follow these scriptures. Whatever this thing says right here is what I follow. So we're gonna go into some of the scriptures that they provided. We're gonna go into some scriptures that I'm gonna bring out, and we're gonna get clarification and edification on this entire ordeal. Okay? Because I know that there's other people out there that's dealing with this. This isn't just a clap back, because I don't wanna let something like this go unaddressed, and those who are dealing with the same situation with other individuals, or even the same individuals, who knows, I don't want them to be put in awkward situations. Maybe they don't know the scriptures as well, and maybe they might fall into believing that hateful doctrine. So we're gonna get into the scripts. Before I get into the scripts, I gotta give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High. All right, so let's go to 2 Corinthians 13:1. 2 Corinthians 13:1. Second Corinthians 13:1, and it says, "This is the third time I am coming to you. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established." All right, so I'm going in that just to start off, because the scriptures are going to be a witness. Myself am going to be a witness, and you, the viewer, are going to be a witness. Let everything be established in 2 or 3 witnesses. Let's continue on. Let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 30, verses 5 and 6. Proverbs 30, verses 5 and 6. And it reads, every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. And like I said, I ground everything I say in Scripture. With me, there's no conjecture. There's none of my own ideals, emotions, or feelings. It's whatever the Scripture says goes, and that's how I operate. So we have to establish everything with witnesses. So you guys are my witness. The Scripture is a witness, and myself, I am a witness to what I'm about to bring forth. And we can't add anything to the Scriptures. And that's what's happening. We have things being established without witnesses, and we also have people adding and taking away from the Scriptures. They're adding conjecture, they're adding their own ideals and appeals, and people are biting into these doctrines. All right. So next, let's go to some of the scriptures that these gentlemen brought out. All right. Let's go to Joel. Joel chapter 3, verses 19 and 20. Joel chapter 3, verses 19 and 20. Okay. And it reads, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. So first let me say, nowhere did I read in that scripture that Esau is the white man. What I did read was that it was speaking of things that are to happen to Edom. Things that are to happen to Edom. But what this individual who brought the scripture failed to notice and point out, in context, you have to read verse 21. It'll bring the whole thing together. So we're going to go to verse 21 now. And it reads, for I will cleanse their blood, that I have not cleansed, for the Most High dwelleth in Zion. For I will cleanse, not us. This is the Most High saying what he will do, to Edom, not you individually, or me individually, or whoever hates Esau individually. The Most High said he will address the situation. Okay, and this is going to be continued on. You're going to see this continue. Next, brother brought out Obadiah. And he brought out Obadiah chapter 1, verses 1 through, I believe, 18. But for the sake of this video, we're going to read in context. We're going to read the whole chapter. All right. Obadiah 1. And I'm going to point out things as I read to continue to pull out the context in which it was written. Okay. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Most High Elohim concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her for battle. Now, first thing, notice that this is a vision given to Obadiah from the Most High. That's first to know, okay? And second, it says, thus saith the Most High Elohim. Okay, so we know that the Most High is saying this. He speaks through his prophets. Okay, let's continue. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. thou art greatly despised. He's saying, I, keep in mind, pay attention to that. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou hast dwellest in the depths, in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In that day, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall shallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High have spoken it. The Most High have spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even until Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south, and saviors shall come up on the Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and kingdom shall be the Most High's. If you noticed throughout this entire chapter, the Most High is saying what he will do, what he will establish, the amount of desolation and destruction that he will bring. Not you, not me, not any of these people who are talking about Esau. Okay, so let that be understood. Now, related to this, but unrelated to this particular situation, I've read, whenever I've gotten into conversations or debates with someone about Esau being the white man and Esau showing hate towards Esau, they always bring out Amalek. Okay, so we're going to read where the Most High instructs the destruction of Amalek, the Amalekites. And then we're going to get understanding as to what's going on. All right, so let's go to 1 Samuel. We're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 1 through 9. Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 1 through 9. And it reads, Samuel also said unto Saul, the Most High sent me to anoint thee king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou to the voice of the words of the Most High. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Hivilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and of the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly. So, what do we see here? We see an instruction of the Most High directly through the prophet Samuel to King Saul, and he was the king of Israel, to go and destroy the Amalekites. He said, destroy everything, man, woman, child, all of the livestock, kill them all. That's what he said, okay? Where out of any of these verses does the Most High say, destroy Edom, destroy Esau completely? Amalek was a descendant of Esau. He was an Edomite, but he was one family out of all of Edom. When David messed up, was the whole tribe of Judah punished for David's transgression, or was David punished? When anybody of Israel messes up, is the entire tribe punished? Is all of Israel punished based off of the individual person in Israel's transgressions? Is all of Israel destroyed? No. The Most High specifically said to destroy the Amalekites. The Amalekites were one people out of Edom, not all of Edom. Stop twisting the scriptures. Stop twisting the scriptures. All right, now that we got that cleared up, let's get back into the topic. The next scripture that was brought out was Revelations 13 and 10. And this right here is one of the Camp's favorite things to say. If you've ever seen a Camp video, you've probably heard this verse being used completely out of context. So I'm gonna quickly touch on that, okay? So, and that is Revelations 13 and 10. 13 and 10. And it reads, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." All right. So they're saying that Esau's the white man, and since he's oppressed us and killed us and did all of these different things to us, that all of these things must happen to him. Again, we've already established in these other verses that the Most High himself is saying that he will bring these types of calamities and this type of destruction onto Edom, not us individually. And you can see through the prophet Samuel, who talked to Saul, if we're going to have any action towards Edom, if we're going to have any action towards anybody, right, in terms of attacking, going to war with, whatever, we will receive specific instruction from the Most High, and he will state specifically what he wants us to do. Go kill the Amalekites, go kill the sheep, kill everybody. You're not reading in the scriptures that the Most High is saying, hey, you will go and kill all of Edom, blah, 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 blah. The Most High is saying, I will destroy them. Now, if he uses us, we'll get instruction at a later point, but that hasn't been established yet. We have to read the scriptures in context, and we can't take away from them, and we can't add to them. No conjecture. We have to go according to what the scriptures is saying. We cannot keep doing this. We are hurting ourselves, and we're being stumbling blocks into those who are trying to learn the scriptures, because they're falling short, because they're following the false doctrines that's being established by the rudiments of men, these wicked men that's in power, and people look up to them, and they fall on their every word, and they follow them like blind sheep to the slaughter. And it bothers me. It truly bothers me. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy really quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 23. Deuteronomy 23. Verses 7 and 8. And let's address all of this that's being said and done about Esau. Because if you read in Obadiah, if you heard or you listened, go back and check it out. Read that whole chapter. It's lumping Edom and the heathen together. The heathen are those nations that are not following the Most High. Okay? All right, Deuteronomy 23, verses 7 and 8. All right, and it reads, "Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Most High in their third generation." We are getting a specific instruction from the Most High in the Torah through the prophet Moses, instructing us not to abhor or hate or mistreat an Edomite because he is our brother. Same thing with the Egyptians, because we were strangers in Egypt. It's right here. We see if Edom is going to be judged and there's going to be calamity and destruction upon Edom, then that's something that the Most High is going to do. Us, we are to follow his instructions. What is he telling us to do? Not to abhor them, not to treat them badly. So all of this Esau hate that's coming out of these camps, that's coming out of these false doctrines, is not according to scripture. It's not biblical. And if we are the chosen people of the book, like everybody is saying, we shouldn't be casting that type of hate. We should be casting love, because the Edom that's going to be destroyed are wicked. But not everybody in Edom is wicked, obviously, because he's saying that they'll enter into the congregation. Now, if anybody hasn't been keeping up with me and what I've been promoting and what I've been putting out in regards to the scriptures, in regards to Israel, the strangers and sojourners, people of the other nations, these other people were allowed to be Israel as long as they followed the law, statutes, and commandments. So if you had Edomites willing to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and sojourn in Israel, they were considered Israel. So when you hear later in the book, in Obadiah and these other ones that's talking about the destruction of Edom from the Most High, it's not referring to these individuals, because these individuals are no longer considered Edom. They're still descendants of Esau, but once you sojourn and follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you are now Israel. So once you become Israel, you are no longer counted as whatever else you are. So if Edom is going to have destruction, all of the heathen, the wicked people who are not following the Most High, those people are the ones that are going to receive the destruction. Now, if you would like precepts upon what I just said, I will put the video with all. It's a complete breakdown. It's an hour long. I'll even put a breakdown of another video. They go hand in hand. One is really an in-depth look into the verses and the precepts to bring forth this out, and the other one is more of a visual representation for those who are visual learners. I try to teach from all angles, because everybody isn't auditory. Some people are visual, some people have to read it. So I will put the link of those two videos in the description so you can go ahead and see exactly what I'm saying, and you will notice the link from those videos to what I'm bringing out here. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, we know that the Most High instructed us to not abhor the Edomite. Now let's go to Romans chapter 12, verse 19. Okay, Romans chapter 12, verse 19. All right, Romans chapter 12, verse 19. And it reads, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Most High." So we reading from these other scriptures that these brothers brought out, right? That all of this is supposed to happen to Edom on account of Jacob and what Edom has done, or Esau has done to Jacob throughout the years, throughout the generations. And we're reading, it says, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves." So if we're looking from the perspective of Israel, and we're trying to cast destruction onto Edom ourselves through these hateful doctrines, preparing for war, trying to kill them, all of that, it's saying, avenge not yourself. And it says, "For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Most High." Everywhere in the New Testament, when it says, "for it is written," it's pulling from somewhere else. It's pulling from the Torah. It's pulling from the Old Testament. So let's go to the verse that Paul is referring to right here. So let's go. And that is Deuteronomy. Back to Deuteronomy, guys. Back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 32 and 35. And it reads, "To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slew in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste." He says, "To me belong vengeance." Vengeance is the Most High's. So we see a connection. We see here, it says vengeance is the Most High's. We see Paul use it in Romans, telling them not to avenge themselves because it's the Most High's. And even in the scriptures that the brothers brought out in regards to the destruction of Israel, the Most High said that he will do it. Not us. not you, not me, not these camps. It's saying that he will establish the destruction of the wicked, not anybody else. It's not up to you. You don't have that. So follow the scriptures. Follow the scriptures. And I'm going to end with this verse, and we'll close it. I don't want this video to get too long. I got it up here because I kind of ran out of placeholders in my Bible. But let's go to Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. And it reads, same King James Version, just like my Bible here is the same thing. All right. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. If what you're bringing forth is not after Christ, if it's not grounded in scripture, if it's not biblical, if the Most High didn't instruct you to do it, don't do it. And for those people who are listening to these camps, these elders, all of these people that are speaking against the word of the Most High, rebuke them and go away. Get into the scriptures for yourself. Do your own research. I'm telling you, I can't stress it enough. So many people have been led astray in this walk due to people sending them astray, adding things to the scriptures, taking things out, twisting the scriptures up. They can read a verse and then give a breakdown of that verse, and it has nothing to do with what the verse said. Read in context. Context kills false doctrine. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. If you go to a church or camp, whatever, and they give you 2 verses, and there's an hour and a half sermon, and you only read 2 verses, that was 2 verses that probably took up 30 seconds. And the rest of that hour and a half was conjecture of that pastor's or that elder's own thoughts, own philosophy. Beware. It's warning you. The scriptures is warning you of through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men. These camps doctrines, 12 tribe chart, they created that themselves, loosely based off of a couple scriptures in the book of Genesis that has nothing to do with the 12 tribes chart. Nothing to do. After tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. Christ was living Torah. Get into the foundation of Torah, and then you can understand the New Testament. I speak on this all the time. And I always say, don't just take my word for it. Go look for yourselves and do your own research. And then you can come back and we can talk and have a discussion about it. But that's pretty much all I had to bring out in regards to this. I hope this was edifying. I hope that you guys got a better understanding of the scriptures. And I hope that if you are running into these types of people who are twisting the scriptures and they don't have understanding, I just pray that you take a step back. It's okay to say, I'm not going to engage in this debate. I'm not going to engage in this discussion. I'm going to go back to the scriptures and look for myself. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with these types of people, all it takes is a second or third look at the scriptures that they're presenting, and you'll see all the holes in what their point is. You can destroy it. You can destroy it because false doctrines always fall. As we read in Joel, he brought out Joel chapter 3, 19 and 20. And he didn't even put 21 in it. I think he probably knew about 21, but he just wanted to bring out 19 and 20 like I wasn't going to go back and look. 21 killed everything he was trying to prove from 19 and 20. Read in context, guys. You guys be safe, be blessed, and shalom.